So this is, I found this online today. This is Illinois Governor JB Pritzker. And I think this is a really, really, really good little monologue here. I think we should end the show on some good news. We're going to try, friends, maybe before we end it here, let me just say thank you so much for being a part of the first ever Tim and April show live stream. We are developing the show more and more. We want to get more good news coming your way as well, so we're not all in despair and doom, while also having a little bit of fun and, of course, calling out Christian nationalism. So thank you. Give this stream a like if you're watching it. That would just mean the world. Make sure to subscribe to the channel at the Tim and April Show on YouTube. We have so much more to get into. We'll be back here on Monday going live, all that good stuff. All right, this is a really great little, it's about 4 minutes, but it's really worth it, okay? Let's just buckle up and enjoy it.
As some of you know, Skokie, Illinois once had one of the largest populations of Holocaust survivors anywhere in the world. In 1978, Nazis decided that they wanted to march there. The leaders of that march knew that the images of swastika-clad young men goose-stepping down a peaceful suburban street would terrorize the local Jewish population, so many of whom had never recovered from their time in German concentration camps. The prospect of that march sparked a legal fight that went all the way to the Supreme Court. I do not invoke the specter of Nazis lightly, but I know the history intimately and have spent more time than probably anyone in this room with people who survived the Holocaust. Here's what I've learned. The root that tears apart your house's foundation begins as a seed of distrust and hate and blame. The seed that grew into a dictatorship in Europe a lifetime ago didn't arrive overnight. It started with everyday Germans mad about inflation and looking for someone to blame.
He's right, by the way.
I'm watching with a foreboding dread what is happening in our country right now. A president who watches a plane go down in the Potomac and suggests without facts or findings that a diversity hire is responsible for the crash. Or the Missouri Attorney General who just sued Starbucks, arguing that consumers pay higher prices for their coffee because the baristas are too female and non-white. The authoritarian playbook is laid bare here.
Yep. 100%.
They point to a group of people who don't look like you and tell you to blame them for your problems. I just have one question. What comes next? After we've discriminated against, deported, or disparaged all the immigrants and the gay and lesbian and transgender people, the developmentally disabled, the women, and the minorities, once we've ostracized our neighbors and betrayed our friends, after that, when the problems we started with are still there staring us in the face, what comes next? All the atrocities of human history lurk in the answer to that question. And if we don't want to repeat history, then for God's sake, in this moment, we better be strong enough to learn from it. My oath is to the Constitution of our state and of our country. We don't have kings in America, and I don't intend to bend the knee to one.
On the money.
I'm not speaking up in service to my ambitions, but in deference to my obligations. If you think I'm overreacting and sounding the alarm too soon, consider this. It took the Nazis 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 days, 8 hours, and 40 minutes to dismantle a constitutional republic. And all I'm saying is that when the 5-alarm fire starts to burn, every good person better be ready to man a post with a bucket of water if you want to stop it from raging out of control. Those Illinois Nazis did end up holding their march in 1978, just not in Skokie. After all the blowback from the case, they decided to march in Chicago instead. Only 20 of them showed up. But 2,000 people came to counter-protest. The Chicago Tribune reported that day that the rally sputtered to an unspectacular end after 10 minutes. It was Illinoisans who smothered those embers before they could burn into a flame.
So
Tyranny requires your fear and your silence and your compliance.
Yep.
Democracy requires your courage. So gather your justice and humanity, Illinois, and do not let the tragic spirit of despair overcome us when our country needs us the most. Thank you.
Woo! My man is cooking. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Great.
Yes. And I think that last sentiment is so important for all of us, right? They want you to be discouraged. They want you to be overwhelmed. They want you to feel like there's no hope. That's one of the plays out of the playbook of tyranny and fascism. And part of what we have to do, of course, is call it out and not be afraid to feel the feelings, but also to find moments of joy, because finding joy is also a form of resistance. And that's really important. We cannot let Trump or Musk or whoever else is in these spaces of power rob people or rob you of your God-given joy to find the moments of rebellion, right? We talk a lot on the new Evangelicals show about how we're trying to form a rebellion of hope, love, and empathy. How do we do that? And part of it means that we have to find moments of joy and not let authoritarians win the mental game by us letting them have rent-free space in our head. We absolutely cannot do that. And so I'm happy that we have Governor Pritzker in Illinois, because he was on the money 100%. And I think it kind of sets the stage for the work that we're going to be doing April on the show.
Yeah, well, like we've talked about before, do not obey in advance.
Yep.
That's from Timothy Snyder's book on tyranny. Take heart. Like the one thing I like to remind myself is Trump barely won the election. Like you look at the final numbers, he didn't even get above 50%. He got 77 million votes. There are 340 million people that live in the United States. Most people did not vote.
Yep.
So MAGA is loud. They have the power right now. They are swarming the news cycle to try to paralyze us, to try to get us to where like we're so overwhelmed, we feel like we can't do anything because we can't, we can't register what's happening fast enough to respond.
Yeah.
But just know there are more of us than there are diehard MAGA people. And I do believe as Trump starts enacting a lot of these policies, a lot of people who voted for him are going to be negatively harmed. And those people will start waking up. And, it's scary. I'm not saying they're not scary times, but it's not enough to give up hope. There are a lot of good people that will not be taking this sitting down, including us, including a lot of the people in our comment section, including a lot of people in government, like the governor that we just saw. We will not be taking this sitting down. And, the American spirit is strong. We're not going to let fascism just walk in.
Exactly.
Take that what you will.
We are here all the way, friends. We are here with you all the way, every step of the way. April and I are committed to making this show as successful as possible, so people out there know that they're not alone and that there's a better way forward in their faith if they so choose to stay Christian. Hey, friends, that was just a snippet of our full conversation, and trust me, you're going to want to hear the rest of it. We go way deeper in the full episode. So don't stop here. Head over to the Tim and April Show on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and watch the full video. And hey, while you're there, drop a comment and let us know what you think.